All hail the King, all hail the King. Our Redeemer is strong, Lord of hosts is his name. All hail the King, all hail the King. Our Redeemer is strong, Lord of hosts is his name. All hail the King, all hail the King. Our Redeemer is strong, Lord of hosts is his name. All hail the Ancient of Days and the elect one.
Eat. And we gotta eat. And we gotta provide food for our family, a future for them. And we can't be afraid to step up to what is demanded of us by God to defend the life that he gave us and to pass on to our children a better life, even on our death.
You know what, brother? If you were to walk into any mosque in America and you just laid your hands on the first person or the third person or the fifth person that you see, you realize that you're laying your hands on a Native American?
I believe
There were only 8% of the slaves that came to America. So how is it that there are so many more people that they claim are black or African American? I think they got the numbers wrong, because a lot of Native Americans are the ones that they're counting as black folks too.
well, we're really one.
Yeah.
We're not going to let them count this is Native American, this is black. Hell no. We are the original people of the earth. I remember a few years ago I was in Africa, and the Pope, I think it's John Paul.
Shalom, shalom. This is Yashaya from One Nation, One Power. I've been noticing that you guys are kind of hungry for a little bit of real history, huh? Kind of hungry for the truth out there? Sick and tired of all these lies? You know what? I'm going to help you guys a little more. I got some more books I'm going to show you. But in this video, this chief told you a mystery. He told Farrakhan a mystery, and Farrakhan dodged it like dodgeball. Did you see Minister Louis Farrakhan dodge that question like he was in dodgeball game? Brothers and sisters, the chief is hit the nail on the head. Only 8% of slaves came to America. That's right. We were already here. That video I did, and I showed you, we were already here. Majority of us was already here in the Americas. And the reason they don't want you to know that is because you are the aboriginals of America. And by declaring that we are aboriginals, we are the original people of this land, that cause certain benefits gotta be kicked in. So when you hear people out there saying, why don't you go back to Africa? Only 8% of us came from the continent of Africa. You hearing me? On slave ships. The rest of us was already here. You know why I'm laughing so hard? Because you can only hide a lie for so long. When the Most High God wants that lie overturned, when he wants that lie to be done away with, he bring forth and put some light on it. But you gotta have eyes to see and ears to hear. This brother Thinking from the Navajo Nation Reservation? Totally. 1 out of 3 so-called African Americans are really Native Americans. Another mystery of the ancient past. Boy, did these people put some lies down or what? They did some covering up. They did some hiding. Boy, they did some serious destruction of history. You guys hearing me out there? They put in work. They put in work trying to destroy the history of the real Jews. They put in some serious work. Now, I had that one book. Hold on a minute, let me get it. Let me get it. I want you to see the title on this book, Lost Tribes in the Promised Lands, The Origins of American Racism. The origins of American racism. This guy, Ronald Sanders, telling you when racism actually started in America. This is what we're going to deal with right here. Racism. Who brung it over? Who planted it? Who grew it? Somebody had to plant it. Somebody had to water it. And somebody had to grow it to make it go. Are you guys hearing? Because there was a time on the earth there was no racism. Can you believe that? There was a time on the earth when people got along, no matter how they look. But then somebody brought over and instituted racism. And they instituted it as a weapon. And we're going to go in this book once again, Black Indians by William Lawrence Katz, A Hidden Heritage. We're going to hit where we want to hit. Where we want to hit. We want to hit, we're going to hit page 136. Now we're going to do page 137. Page 137. On page 136, it talks about how the so-called Spaniards made the Native Americans take the so-called other Native Americans. That's what they really were. They're trying to call them Africans. We ain't no Africans. I keep telling you that. That's a Jedi mind trick to throw you off. And you hear people say today, well, some of the Native Americans had the blacks in slavery. They was forced into that. That was part of the mind game to bring them down. Now I'm gonna start on 137, and I'm gonna start at the top. Bondage is always a violation of the human spirit and the will to be free. But most observers found that the chains of slavery were fitted rather loosely on black people owned by Indians. Did you hear that? They didn't have the chains on tight enough for the Spaniards. Only the Chickasaw had a reputation for treating their slaves as badly as did white masters. The other nations practiced such a mild form of bondage that it upset U.S. slave owners. The Seminoles, of course, infuriated white and Indian masters with their generosity, fairness, and a level of equality toward their slaves. Why did the Seminoles treat those so-called slaves, who were actually Native Americans too, like family? Because they were family. They know who they were. They trying to do another Jedi mind trick on you. So the Seminoles treated them just like family, and the white slave owners didn't like it. Next verse. What was bondage like for those held by the Native Americans? In interviews conducted during the 1930s, former slaves evaluated their experiences differently. Johnson Thompson, 80, and a former Cherokee slave said, "The master never punished anybody, and I never seen anybody whipped, and only one slave sold. Lots of slaves' children never ever learned to read, though. Rothschild War, 91, remember. Some of the slaves worked around and gave money and paid this money to their masters for freedom. So there was some free before the close of the war. Some of the others tried to run away after the war started. Now they talk about how well they were being treated. But we're going to go over here because I want you to see where the beginning of racism began. It says the Indian agents sent by Washington openly encouraged slaveholding. Soon, two distinct classes based on slave ownership divided the Indian nation. This was the whole plan, to divide the Indian nation. Mixed bloods owned slaves and usually had some white ancestry. Here they go. Here they go. Though a minority, they felt both. These facts made them superior, fit to rule. This also meant the amount of white blood was a positive, much as the amount of black blood was a negative. Full bloods formed a majority, but because they had no white blood and held no slaves, they had little power. Listen to what was really going on. Between 1830 and 1860, the population of the four nations declined. This was the plan. Sharply. Cherokees by 31%, Choctaws by 27%, Chickasaws by 18%, and Creeks by 43%. At the same time, the number of members with white blood increased, and so, too, did the number of slaves each nation held. By 1860, Cherokees had 2,511 slaves. Choctaw had 2,344 slaves. The Creeks had 1,532 slaves, and the Chickasaw 975. Slavery had become the major economic and political factor in these nations. This meant that their racial thinking was approaching that of the white South. They got them. They got them. That was the whole plan, was to pit one race of people against another, while the master rules the hen house. Is this going on in America in 2018? Here go the groundwork right here. The beginning of American racism in this book. If you want to know when it all started and how we got to this point, there you go. It's right here in this book. It tells you how they planted it, how they watered it, how they nourished it, how they plucked it. And here we got this mess today. We got Native Americans hating Native Americans. We got blacks hating blacks. We got Mexicans hating Mexicans. We got whites hating whites. Antifa and all of it. We got everybody hating each other, all because of what the so-called Spaniards brought to the Americas and fomented on the Native Americans. Then it spread like cancer. And now the whole America and the rest of the world is sick. Everybody's sick because of what they practiced and what they put on the so-called Native Americans. Is this sad? So when you, and today, because you don't know when it started, you just look at that, oh, that's so sad, black on black crime. That's so sad, Mexican on Mexican crime. Those people just need to stop it. Them people we've been bred white on white crime. They don't talk about that, but it's going on every day too. See when it started? Is that cold-blooded or what? They blame us today for something that the slave master put into the earth, but it's my job to help you get free, to help you understand where it originated from and where it all came from. So cut it out. You need to put down all that hate. Hate just leads to more hate, on top of hate, and more hate. Now, here's another book you need to get your hands on. Native American History by Judith Nyes. This is an excellent book. This book goes into some serious detail. Serious detail. She did her homework. Let me tell you, this woman was bad. She got stuff in here, boy. She goes into details. She break it down. She even put dates. Boy. This book is bad. If you want to get dates and times of when things happen here in America, this is the book you need. Judith Nyes, N-I-E-S, Native American History. Trying to help you guys. I'm going to bring forth some more information. People think I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm reading from their own books. Here's another great one. American Indian. Answers to today's questions. Who is this by? Jack Utter. This is the second edition by Jack Utter. And this got a lot of your history in these books. A lot of your history. Like this one goes into when the smallpox was spread. But I'm going to go into the Bible today and I'm going to show you that this was a judgment of God. So don't be mad at people who did it. Because the Most High God in Deuteronomy 28 is the one that punished you. Did you know about that? The Indian slave trade? Did you know about that? This book is written by Alan Galley. A-L-A-N-G-A-L-L-A-Y. Alan Galley. Why don't they teach the Native Americans that they was also made slaves? It's because they would have something in common with their brothers. That's why they only taught in the school system our slavery, and they hid the slavery of the Native Americans. This is a 2000 winner of the Bancroft Prize. This book is facts that will break the non-believers' backs. Told you, I've been doing this for years. Remember I told you that Columbus had, why they never taught you about this? How many voyages of Columbus? How many voyages did they teach you in school? You only know about one, right? Look at the year. 1492 to what? 1584. Columbus, the 4 voyages. By who? Lawrence Berkeley, author of the Over the Edge of the World. This is a New York Times bestseller, and you don't know nothing about it. How could this be a New York Times bestseller, and you guys in America don't know nothing about this? Lawrence Berkeley, the 4 voyages of Columbus. And this book is awesome. But I'm going to show you something. Right now, I want you to get the kids out the room, because some of this information is too gruesome for children. So I'm giving an advisory right now. I don't want children listening to what I'm going to say from this point on, because we don't want the children. You got to teach your kids. I don't want to be the one for your kids to hear something that's going to mess them up. So get your children out the room right now. I'm going to show you in this book. Remember, Columbus and them was practicing a form of worship who they thought was Jesus Christ and the God of the Bible. I'm not sure if they really thought that, or if they knew who they was really worshiping was Satan, because some of the atrocities that they carried out was unbelievable. I don't know how. It'll make the Muslims look like choir boys. And you guys trying to figure out where the Muslims get it at, where they got it from, terrorism. I'm going to read you some stuff out of here today. I want you to go on the internet and type this in. Countercurrents.org. The American Thanksgiving, rejoicing in genocide and white supremacy. I want you to type, you can go on the internet And you can print this out for yourself. This is a historical document that tells the truth about Thanksgiving. 99.9% of the people in America today have no clue that the Thanksgiving that they are keeping is all false. This will teach you the real meaning and origins of Thanksgiving. You see it says the American Thanksgiving, rejoicing in genocide and white supremacy. You see I got scriptures right there. It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. But back to this book. The 4 voyages of Columbus, where they killed millions of people. Atrocities. You hearing me? Oh, they even got pictures in here of his conquest. You know, you like to brag when you take something by force. Look at that. See all them people hanging? They're not just hanging. They're hanging over a fire. So Columbus and them just didn't hang you and bury your body. They hung them and then they burned them up. You see the man standing there with a baby in his hand? He's about to swing the baby head up against the brick wall. They used to take, that was a custom. They used to take the babies by the ankles and swing the baby and bash the baby's brains out on the wall and throw the dead body of the baby down into the fire. That was a custom of who you guys celebrate every year called Christopher Columbus. This is how they took America. This is why I don't want no kids in here right now. I'm going to show you some stuff. That's why in America we don't talk about the past. Now, I'm going to show you what God that Columbus and them was giving all of this credit of all this death to. Virgin of Sailors by Alejo Fernandez in 1530. In one of the earliest paintings inspired by Columbus's discoveries, the explorer kneels on her left in a golden robe, and the 3 Pinzon brothers stand on the right. The painting evokes the spiritual mystic surrounding his journeys, reflecting the exalted manner in which Columbus viewed himself and his voyages. This is called, at this time, Virgin of Sailors. Columbus right there over there in the gold, bending down. This is who he was worshiping. The Virgin of Sailors. That's a hell of a good piece of history there, isn't it? All right. I promise you guys, you need to get this. The Black Madonna, Christ, and the Black God and the Goddess of the Bible by Gert Mueller. He's a European guy. Gert Mueller. He decided to tell the truth. So you got honest people out there who want to tell the truth in all races. And you got dishonest people in all races who are out there working together trying to keep the truth from the masses of the people. They want to keep you ignorant. They figure if they can keep you ignorant, that they got power over you. But when you start to find the truth, you break the power of ignorance, thus breaking the power of the government off of your mind. Your mind is a battlefield. That's what your mind is. Your mind is a battlefield, and this is a fight for the minds and the souls of the people of the earth. That's what this really is. This is a battle for the minds and the souls of the people of the earth. And in order to get free from the matrix, you got to get some truth. Jesus said in John 8:32, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. It's only the truth can make you free. But most people don't know they're in bondage. You're in bondage to lies. That's what the matrix is. Now I'm going to read this part right there from Gert Mueller. It's page 11. What you got to say, Big Gert? OG Gert? Listen what he's saying. This is in the Black Madonna in Christ. This little paperback book. Probably only $10. There is scarcely an old church in Italy. In where? In Italy. In where? In Italy. Watch what he gonna say. There is scarcely an old church in Italy where some remains of the worship of the black virgin and black child are not to be met with. Very often, black figures have been given way to white ones. And in these cases, the black ones are being held sacred, were put into retired places in the churches. Did you hear what Gert said? He said these people took the black paintings and put them up in special places in the churches, but they sacred. So the black ones they treat as sacred over in Italy, and they hide them in the back. And then they pull out the fake white ones and show it to the world. What will make a person do that? I'm going to start again. There is scarcely an old church in Italy where some remains of the worship of the black virgin and black child are not to be met with. Very often, black figures have given way to white ones. And in these cases, the black ones are being held sacred, were put into retired places in the churches, but were not destroyed, but are yet to be found there. In many cases, the images are painted all over and look like bronze, often with colored aprons or napkins around the loins or other parts. But pictures in great numbers are to be seen where the white of the eyes and the teeth and the lips a little tinged with red, like the black figures in the Museum of the India Company, show that there is no imitation of bronze. In many instances, these images and pictures are shaded, not all one color, a very dark brown, so dark as to look like black. They are generally esteemed by the rabble with most profound veneration. They're over there venerating our pictures. But over here, they're teaching us that our pictures don't matter and that we got to worship another image, a fake one. No doubt in many places, when the priests have painted the images, they have colored the eyes, teeth, and coat in order that they might not shock the feelings of devotees by a too sudden change from black to white, and in order at the same time that they might furnish a decent pretense for their blackness, that they are an imitation of bronze. But the number that are left with white teeth and coat let out the secret. When the circumstances has been named to Romish priests, they have endeavored to hide the fact by pretending that the child had become black by the smoke of the candle. You can't make this stuff up. But it was black where the smoke of the candle never came. And besides, how came the candles not to be blackened, the white of the eyes, the teeth, and the shirt? And how came they to red in the lips? The mother is, the author believes, always black when the child is. Their real blackness is not to be questioned for a moment. This is Brother Gert Mueller. He telling on them. He said they tried to, the smoke from the candle made it black. The smoke from the candle. But they treating these images as sacred, and they venerating them in secret. And then they come out in the daytime when all the other people come and they push out a fake one to them. They won't show them the real ones. Look at the mother and the child. Be careful, the smoke from the candle. Watch that light. This stuff is common gold. Let's see. They go a Black Madonna in France. They go a Black Madonna in Spain with the child. So this one on this side is in Spain right now. And this one is in France. What's going on? Somebody tell me what's going on. What's going on? Something going on. This is Czechoslovakia. This is in Czechoslovakia. The Black Madonna in Czechoslovakia. Look at this. They go the real deal. What I'm showing you is the real deal. I'm showing you what they're hiding from you. You better go get this book so you can get free from oppression, governmental oppression. That's all they're using it for is oppression. They know how they really look. Let's keep going. They got this book filled with them pictures. They're showing you right here how they tried to alter it. See it? They're showing you right here. They're saying, look how they changed it. People better get it right. This guy coming back. He coming back. And he gonna be mad as hell if you worshiping somebody else other than him. I think that's part of the plan. The plan is to get us all worshiping somebody that really don't exist, so that when the real God comes, we'll get in trouble. I think that's what's going on. They're trying to get us all in trouble. They're trying to get us all in trouble with the real God. Because if I was God or the Son of God, and you was worshiping somebody else that didn't look like me, I didn't want to knock you in the back of your head. I'm the one, the real one died for you. This the one died for all of you guys on the cross. This the one shed the blood for you, so that you can go to heaven. And why are they trying to hide the one that died for you? They go to Virgin Mary. Why are they trying to hide the one that died for you, that really died for you, that really shed the blood for you? What's going on, people? This is the Mandalorian of the Vatican. The Mandalorian of the Vatican is of unknown age, but replicates the Byzantine world most venerated icon. Do you want to see the most venerated icon? And it's over there in Rome right now. Would you like to see it? What that means, the most venerated, the one that's worshipped the most. Out of all of the other icons they got, this one is worshipped the most, and it's in the Vatican. It's so black you can't even see his face. That one worshipped the most. See it? And they're trying to get us in trouble, you guys. That's what I think. They're trying to all get us in trouble. All of us. Red, black, red, yellow, and green. They're gonna pick another icon of Christ. Look at that. Why? This might be your first time seeing these pictures. Well, once again, get the book. If you want the truth. Look at those saints. See the afros? This keeps going. This book is full. Gert wasn't playing. Gert Mueller, he must have got tired of the game. He must have got tired of the games. Listen to this. This is page 57. The Black Madonna and Christ are the image of those who were let me start over. The Black Madonna and Christ are the image of those who were present at the beginning of civilization and who are at the root of every religion. They are the image of the great survivors who, like the icons, have rich complexions and have come through numerous tribulations against all expectations. They are still here. He's telling you that these dark pictures are still here through much tribulation. That means people have been trying to destroy them and get rid of them. But he's telling you they are still here. All right, I'm going to read the back of the book. I'm going to read the back. This is a powerful presentation of the astonishing fact. Remember I deal in facts? This is a powerful presentation of the astonishing fact that amongst white European nations, their most sacred icons of the Madonna and Christ are black in color. What? What did OG Gert just say? Oh, people, we in trouble. We are in trouble. This man just told you that in Europe, they worship the black Christ and the black Madonna. What we worship? He's telling, oh my God, we in trouble. Somebody help us. The whole America is worshiping something that ain't real. Help us, Jesus. Oh, help us, Jesus. Help us, Mama would say. Help us, Jesus. We in trouble. Oh, we in trouble over here in America. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We in trouble. I get flashbacks of Mama sometimes. So let me read this again. This almost made me fall out of my chair. Let me see if I can get the camera to work this time. I'll get the camera to work. No, camera don't want to get it right. I'm about to buy me a better camera. This is a powerful presentation of the astonishing fact that amongst white European nations, their most sacred icons of the Madonna and Christ are black in color. This comprehensive book shows you the images in full glorious technicolor. It is the only place where the profound national historical significance of these black images is discussed. They are so little known in comparison to their great importance. A must-buy for those interested in a historically correct image of not just Jesus Christ, but the whole concept of deity in ancient times. The God of the Bible is based on a black god and goddess. You gotta think I'm making that up? The God of the Bible is based on a black god and goddess. Tell him, Gert. Tell him, Gert. Tell him, Gert. You hearing OG Gert? OG Gert telling you guys that the whole Bible come from Africa. The whole book come from the continent of Africa. The whole story started in ancient Egypt. Well, it started with Adam and Eve. And in the garden, ask somebody where the Garden of Eden at today. It's all on the continent of Africa. So here's my European brother. OG, I'm going to call him triple OG, Gert Mueller, telling you the God of the Bible is based on a black god and goddess. What? And what we doing over here in the park? Oh, we in trouble. Oh, we in trouble. Somebody help. Oh, we need some milk. Somebody get some milk. We in trouble, people. Jesus Christ said in John 8:32, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Here is Gerd Mueller, my European brother, trying to tell his people that they worshiping the black god and the goddess and don't even know it. The God of the Bible is based on a black god and goddess. The black goddess of the Bible is actually named. Pictures of the black god and goddess are shown here. This knowledge led to the author along a voyage of discovery involving the Hebrew and Canaanite role in the African fight for Western Asia. A must-read for those interested in a black Egypt and the African role in the Bible. This dude went on a voyage. Man, this dude must have some money. He went on, I wish I could do that, to go find the truth. He went on a voyage. Man, let me tell you. So you don't think I'm making this up. The black what? The black what? By who? Gerd Mueller. Gerd Mueller telling you that you guys all out there in every Christian church in America worshiping a false god. And you might say, well, it don't matter what color he is. He coming back. If you can't handle the fact that he black now, what you gonna do when you see him face to face? If you got that look on your face like this when you sing, he gonna kill you. He's gonna be the son of God. He ain't gonna play no games. If you can't handle, people say it don't matter. It don't matter, right? You say it don't matter. Did it matter when Obama was president? How did people in America feel when Obama was just president? I believe that was a test by God. No, God don't like him, God don't love him, God, matter of fact, I know God hate Obama. Some of the stuff he do. But, all that aside, I think he put him in there to test the hearts of the people in America. Because everybody in Europe know that Christ is black. So obviously they can deal with it, though they hide it. You know, like everybody else, they hide it. But at least they can deal with the fact and they know he's black. They know who coming back. Who you think coming back? Who coming back for you? Who coming back to rule the world? Let's see if there's anything else in this book. Boy, I'm telling you, we're in trouble in America. These people have went overboard to lie to us in America. All of us. I worship the fake image too. Don't get me wrong. For 10 years. But like I told you, I'm a truth seeker. People all tell me I'm a truth seeker, I'm a truth seeker. No, you ain't. You stop when you find some stuff. I keep it moving. Look at that. They were the real images of Christ in the mirror. By Gerd Mueller. He went out there and found it. He went out there and found it, baby. Still in Europe. Still intact. Some of you might say, well, why are they in Europe? Because you were never taught history. We ruled Europe from 193 AD to 1453. Now, I'm going to go ahead and help you some more. Since these are all over Europe, France, Spain, all them places, we put them there because wasn't nobody else going to put them there. So we put them there. So who built the cathedrals? Who built the monasteries? You need to go watch the movie Christopher Columbus in 1492 and Constantinople proper. Because in there they're showing you that they destroyed the minarets. They destroyed a lot of history. In there, it's in the movie. He come right out and said, one of his guys say, Columbus, we're going to lose a lot of history. He said sometimes to go forward You got to get rid of the past. That was them deleting our history. It just didn't start in America. It started in 1492. Really in 1453. When Leonardo da Vinci was commissioned to paint that false image, to bring it to the Americans. And then you guys wondering why, when the Spaniards got over here, that these people rather die in the fire than to worship the fake image of Jesus Christ. The whole world knew he was black. People ask me all the time, why did these Native Americans why they just didn't submit? Because they wasn't going to worship a false god. Remember, they didn't worship images or sticks. I showed you that in the last video. So when you showed up to them with an image of a white European man and then told them to bow down to it, they rather suffer death. Why did they rather suffer death? Because they know about the resurrection. If they stay faithful in death, at the resurrection, they'll be raised again to go into the kingdom. That's why they rather suffer death than to worship a false god. Look at that same picture that's in the book of 4 Voyages of Columbus, right there. Look right here. They feeding human people to dogs. They are literally feeding their dogs humans. They're using people as dog food. That's why I told you don't let no children. Get the children away from this video. These are atrocities that America wants to hide and cover up, that they don't want you to see. Let me see if I can find one more. There's one more in here that'll jump out at you and bite you. There's one in here that will jump out at you and bite you. Our people wasn't no joke. Number one, they wasn't afraid of death like we are today. People today, they're afraid to die. What are they going to do, send you to paradise? And then make God mad? You don't want that. You don't want to make God that mad. You're killing his righteous. Man, he'll kill a whole family. You guys don't know God that good, do you? He said, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. When people in the old days tried to hurt God's anointed, God killed their whole family. How? Gave them aneurysms, made them sick, made their bowels fall out. That's right. That's how God get down. He don't play around. That's how he get down. Let's see if I can find this one. There go another with him. Chopping off arms. If he came up from the gold mine, didn't have no gold, see him chopping off his arm? See him chopping off his arm right there? Chopping off his arm. And we read in the other book where Columbus said that, let me read it for you again. Let me read it for you again. Remember, they had to portray the people here as savages today so they can get away with what they did. But we're going to prove. Remember I read what Columbus said, these people are nice people? Remember that? Remember I read that part? See if I can find it. They were saying these are the most mannered people that they ever seen. Nice. And then they turned around and told the world that these people were savages. And oh, by the way, Bartholomew de las Casas was a priest who helped lead a rebellion against what they were doing. And they ended up killing him too. They ended up killing Bartholomew de las Casas. He had his own church, and he got tired of them killing the natives, and he rebelled against them to help them. Here it is, page 26, the book Black Indians. For the people of the Americas, the arrival of Columbus was hardly a blessing. On his first day, October 12, 1492, the explorer wrote in his diary, "I took some of the natives by force." He later found the original inhabitants to be traceable, peaceable, and concluded, "There is not in the world a better nation." His response as a European was to say that the Indians must be made to work and adopt our ways. That's the part you need to understand. They must adopt our ways. Keep that in your head. Now, in this book, they said you guys were peaceable, nice, and everything. But they had to portray it to the world that you guys were savages. So they can justify this. So they was doing this. And in order to do that, they had to come back and lie to the world that you guys were some vicious animals. Well, we just caught them in their Jedi mind trick. And they lie. They love to lie. They'll tell the truth in one breath and come back in the same breath at the end and try to spin it with a lie. And that's what you guys got. I call it the Jedi mind trick. That's what they're good at. They pros at the Jedi mind trick. And you guys got to pay attention to that. When you read something and you hear them make one statement, stick on that statement and then watch them come back in the same breath and say something different. That's all you got to do. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. I want you to print this out on your own. And I want you to read it. This is more information as to what Columbus and them did. This even tells you that Thanksgiving wasn't originally made Thanksgiving until about 100 years later. How could they have Thanksgiving while they was killing all these people? That's common sense. They did. So, read this, and let's go to our Bibles, and I'm going to give you Thanksgiving in the Bible. I'm going to show you where where Thanksgiving is in the Bible, and that God hates Thanksgiving. And none of you knew it. None of you were never taught this in the Bible. Go to Isaiah 65 and 11. Go to Isaiah 65 and 11. When you download this and read this, I want to get some feedback and some comments. Give me some feedback after you read this. It's only 13 pages long. Very good information. Let's see if we can find Thanksgiving in the Bible. Isaiah 65 and 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord. You are they that forsake the Lord. How we forsake you, Most High? That forget my holy mountain. That prepare a table for their troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto their number. That prepare a table for their troop. The word troop is Calvary. You preparing a table for what the Calvary did to you. The celebration of Thanksgiving was actually the celebration of the genocide, the mayhem, and the murder of the Native Americans. And if you ask any educated European from Harvard, he'll tell you the truth. It's their celebration, overtaking the land. So, Isaiah 65 and 11, there go your Thanksgiving. Every year you set a table for that troop. Because you don't know history, you think you setting that table, and what you celebrate? These people are so deep in their thinking. I'm saying the so-called Spaniards. I know who they are. Let me tell you what Thanksgiving represents. See, it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. All right, watch this. The turkey, it represents something. Let me tell you what it represents. It represents the bodies of the Native Americans. When you put that, what is that? Not the gravy, the dressing. When you take the dressing, where do you put it? You put it on the inside of the turkey, right? And you bake them together. When you pull the turkey out of the oven, where do you get your dressing from? Oh, somebody catch me. You dig inside of the turkey to pull out the dressing. The turkey represents the bodies of the Native Americans, which some was our people. And the dressing represents their guts. The cranberries, now you get me. The cranberries represent the blood that was spilled. So next time you celebrate Thanksgiving and you look at that turkey and you see that dressing on the inside and you got to dig in with the fork to pull out, or the spoon to pull out the dressing from the inside of the turkey, it's all a metaphor for what they did when they conquered America. The American Thanksgiving, rejoicing in genocide and white supremacy. Now, go to Psalms chapter 55. Go to Psalms 55. I just gave you Thanksgiving in the Bible. Psalms 55, and God don't like it because he knows what it's all about. Psalms 55. Psalms 55 and 20. That was Isaiah 65 and 11 I gave you. Go read it out of the King James Version Bible. Because in your other Bibles, they probably changed the words around because they knew we was waking up. Psalms 55 and 20. Psalms 55 and 20. This is what happened at Thanksgiving. I gave you the table in Isaiah 65 and 11. Now I'm going to give you what God said they would do at the table, meaning with the Native Americans. Remember, in this book, Columbus said they was peaceable and he had not met such a nice nation of people. Psalms 55 and 20. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. How many covenants did Columbus and them make that they broke? There it go right there in the Bible, folks. Read your Bible. This is Psalms 55 and verse 20. He put forth his hand against such as be with peace with him. He has broken his covenant. Every treaty that they made, they broke. There it go right there in the Bible. Let's go to the next verse. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His swords were softer than oil, yet they drawn swords. His words were smoother than butter. We're going to sit down together and we want to just divide up the land. We want to help you guys, We know that Columbus said earlier that you guys was nice people and he had never met such a nation so nice as you guys. And Bartholomew de la Casas, we know he said that we were the devils and you guys were the real Christians. But, we're going to put that to the side, We want to just divide up the land together. We want to be friends. There's enough land to go around. We just can be friends. You guys stay here and we'll stay over there. And then at nighttime they raided. Took everything they had. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. We're going to have peace. We're going to make this a great nation. We're going to build. We're going to bring democracy. How about that? We're going to bring democracy. And we're going to establish a democracy. Because the words of his mouth are smoother than butter. We're going to go over to Iraq. and remove Saddam Hussein. And we're going to establish democracy, but you know, we got to kill 65,000 women and children in the process. You know, we're gonna go. His words are smoother than butter. What man is this? What man is this? You know, Muammar Gaddafi, he's gonna try to go to the gold standard, but you know, we don't mind that. We're gonna send over the fleet. This LDIO for one nation, one power. 1 out of 3 so-called African Americans are really aboriginal to this land, Native American. Shalom.
To eat. And we got to eat. And we got to provide food for our family, a future for them. And we can't be afraid to step up to what is demanded of us by God to defend the life that he gave us and to pass on to our children a better life, even on our death.
You know what, brother? If you were to walk into any mosque in America and you just laid your hands on the first person or the third person or the fifth person that you see, you realize that you're laying your hands on a Native American?
I believe.
There were only 8% of the slaves that came to America. So how is it that there are so many more people that they claim are black or African American? I think they got the numbers wrong, because a lot of Native Americans are the ones that they're counting as black folks too.
Well, we're really one.
Yeah.
We're not going to let them count this is Native American, this is black.
Yeah.
Hell no. We are the original people of the earth. I remember a few years ago I was in Africa, and the Pope, I think it's John Paul